Welcome back to the Football Today podcast. I'm your host, Liam McAllion, also known as the Stats Guy. No Alex, which a lot of people will like. I don't know if we like it. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. As always, I'm joined for a huge Euros preview by Marcus Bazzano. How you going, Marcus? And we've been absolutely pumped with the Euros so far.
Yeah, 100%. There's been so many good games and there's football every day, so what is there not to be excited about?
Yeah, I thought Alex might be on this because he hates watching England sometimes, and they obviously drew overnight, which we'll get into. So that's part of the show today is going to be the wrap of the Matchday 2 games so far, a huge preview of the rest of the games over the weekend in the Euro 2024 action. And make sure you get around this podcast on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're going to what's our road to for this one? Maybe 500, I'd say.
Yeah,
and then
let's
road to
go for
1,000. We'll just build up to that and listen to this wherever you get your podcasts. As always on this show, on the Football Today show, we start off with the yeah, nah. Marcus, what have you got in this one for today?
Well, we've seen some great goals so far in this tournament. It's only halfway through the group stage, so I'll put this to you. Is this the best ever tournament for exciting goals that we've seen in recent years? Obviously, South Africa, the South African World Cup was very good in terms of goals.
I'd say since the South Africa World Cup, I'll say yeah, but of all time, I'm going to say nah, just because that South Africa World Cup, I had that ball, the Jabulani. They don't use it anymore because it was curling sideways every time someone would kick it. There was the most amount of knuckleballs I've ever seen in a tournament was that tournament. But in terms of recent history, probably the last 10 years, I'd say yeah, it's been unbelievable. Well, I was going to do this in the news ticker, but for a stat, there's already been 13 goals scored from outside the box, which is more than the entire group stage of the last Euros. We're only halfway through the group stage at the moment. So it's been awesome. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it's weird. I'm not sure if the players are just hyping up for the occasion and just playing incredibly well, but every winger and striker and midfielder, every time they seem to have a shot from outside the box, it either goes in the back of the net or it hits the crossbar or the post. It's
crazy.
The shooting has been incredible so far, and it makes for good games and good scorelines.
Yeah, well, it might even be to do with the crowds. They're hyped up. Obviously, we had some lesser crowds in some of the past tournaments due to COVID and things like that. So maybe they just fired up for the big crowds. Like, we've got to put on a show for the home fans. Yeah,
and there's been a lot of late goals this tournament as well, so it's been very exciting.
Yeah, a few stats coming up that reflect that. That's a few after the 94th minute, which has been nuts, especially overnight, actually. All right, let's start with a bit of news. I already said that there's been a lot of goals scored from outside the box, so we'll go to the next one here. Kylian Mbappe, he was seen wearing this fancy new French flag mask. Hasn't been ticked off by UEFA, sadly, because you have to have one colour, I just read. So he's got the 3 colours of the French flag. It did look pretty cool. He does look like a Ninja Turtle again. What do you reckon? Does it suit him at all, Marcus?
Well, of course a mask suits him because he's a Ninja Turtle. But it's just a shame that he didn't wear a Ninja Turtle mask. Like
I know.
Remember when he got pranked with the Ninja Turtle mask when he was at PSG? Like in a fake Dior box, which was pretty funny. But honestly, UEFA, come on, you can let him have 3 colours on a mask. It's not going to make any difference to the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's similar to like a mouth guard in other sports.
You get different colours.
Guard, who cares?
Yeah. I know. I think they've been a little bit too serious there, but apparently he's going to have to come and get like a black one or a white one for the game ahead. So that'd be interesting. I think what color Ninja Turtle? Maybe like an orange one would be pretty cool. But then they're playing the Netherlands, so maybe that's a bit of a weird one.
We have seen some
Yeah.
great players wear masks. Actually,
We have
great players. I remember more recently Antonio Rudiger's wore one.
Yeah,
Osimhen's worn one. So
he wore a Batman one. That was pretty sick.
Yeah. There's been heaps of players to do so.
Yeah. All right. Next one, getting a little bit more serious. Serbia threatened to leave the tournament if disciplinary action doesn't happen towards Albania and Croatia. The Albania and Croatia fans at their game, so that wasn't even at the Serbia game, at their game, the Albania versus Croatia game, were doing anti-Serbia chants, I just read. So it's come down under racism and discrimination, which is horrible. We don't like to see that at all in these tournaments. I've seen so many good articles about everyone getting along at these tournaments, Germany and Scotland fans having a beer together, things like that. And then this is ruining it a little bit. And Serbia threatening to leave, which is a bit of a worry, Marcus.
Yeah, look, I'm not sure what to make of this, to be honest. I'm not sure if it's a bluff from Serbia.
Maybe.
Obviously, because there is a lot of prize money involved with the Euros.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not great to see. It was the Albanians and the Croats were basically chanting about Serbia fans and Serbian people to be deleted.
That's
a better word.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's horrible that that's happening, and UEFA should definitely step in and do something.
Yep. Nah, there's been so many good things happen in this tournament. Just stick to your game, stick to your fans, stick to your team. I think that's the message coming out of this one. And hopefully Serbia, they sort that out, and then Serbia stay in the tournament because they've been pretty exciting, and so have their fans.
Yep.
All right, match wraps for match day 2. So match day 2 started a couple of days ago. We'll start off with Croatia versus Albania. I think this was one of the matches of the tournament. I was watching this one late the other night. 2-2. 2-2. A lot of people would have said Croatia win this one easy, but they look a bit old and slow as we predicted at the
Yeah.
start of the tournament.
Yeah, they were poor, and they've been
Mm,
poor throughout this whole tournament. And with Spain beating Italy this morning, that would have been a huge 3 points for Croatia,
yeah.
to finish top two in their group at the very least.
Yep. Yeah. Albania just awesome, insane pace on the counter attack. I saw them. Their first goal was just amazing. The crowd as well. Their crowd is one of the loudest. I think you got Scotland, Netherlands, Albania, probably up there for the top 3 loudest crowds. They're just
Mm.
unbelievable every time they get on the counter attack, and their crowd was just an extra player.
Yep.
Croatia obviously got it back up to 2-1, but they just, I don't know, they're lacking that willingness to shoot. They've got a lot of guys. Modric is just trying to lay it off every time. There's been so many goals from outside the box. They need to have a shot, or just cut in and try and take the shot on rather than do those little dinky passes, I think.
Yeah, so I've been saying it all tournament. Just play Kramaric up front. You got on the score
Yeah.
sheet, and you can. I think he can have more of an influence up top than he does out wide.
Yeah, actually, that's a very good call. Kramaric up. He ended up getting on the score sheet. You got Perisic who started, so I'm sure you were happy to see that. You called for that as well.
Yeah, except he started at fullback, which was a bit
Yeah,
surprising. Instead of on the wing, but I don't hate that. I think there's room for Perisic to overlap while the others invert.
yeah, that wasn't too bad. At least they were trying to play a little bit attacking out of defense. But yeah, then you had Jasula, really late goal, 94th or 95th minute, I think, for Albania to equal it up, crushed the Croatian fans. They were going nuts. There was flares everywhere, and then it ended up 2-2. So bad result for Croatia, really good result for Albania. They almost
Yeah,
deserved to win that. They were so good in the first half that they probably could have had a couple more goals. So very unlucky for Albania, and Croatia. They're going to struggle with that group of death. As we
yeah.
predicted, I think they're going to struggle in this one.
Honestly,
Yeah.
could we see Albania? I know they play Spain,
Yep.
but is there a chance that they get out of that group ahead of Croatia?
Possibly, but the way they're playing, they know how to get on the score sheet, I think, a little bit better than Croatia. So
Hmm.
possible.
Say
I
Italy
don't
beat
know.
Croatia, and well, Albania pretty much have to.
Have to win
No, I think they can
or
get a
draw.
point.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's a possibility actually. That'd be massive. And then Croatia come last. Whew. They would not be happy with that. All right, next one is Germany, the hosts, obviously, versus Hungary. Germany win 2-0, and because of
mm,
that huge goal difference, they've already progressed 7 goals in 2 games, so they're absolutely flying. I just wrote down here Musiala. He does it again. He
yeah,
scored. He is an absolute freak at the moment. He's the youngest player in Euros history to score in the first 2 games of the tournament. So 21, just over 21 years old. He's an absolute beast.
yeah. He is. He's a freak. Hungary, they weren't as bad as they were in the first match day, but they
No,
played
they're
a little
okay.
bit better. But obviously,
Yep.
still not good enough to get over the powerhouse of Germany. Although Manuel Neuer did make a few very good stops, especially from the Szoboszlai free kick,
Yep.
and follow up from that. So Hungary were probably unlucky not to find the back of the net. But did you see how funny it was when Fulkrog, the German striker, he blazed one into the crowd during the warm
Yes.
ups and
Yes.
broke a fan's arm,
I
so the
forgot about
fan had
that.
to go to the hospital. But he got a signed shirt
Yeah.
and a personal message out of it. So I think that German fan was well redeemed.
Yeah, when those balls fly into the crowd, I think I've jokingly said before, oh, there's a broken body part. Or there's someone's died from that horrible
It's
shot.
actually so
I, I
dangerous.
I didn't think it would actually happen, but he's broken his arm, the guy, and fair play to Fulkrug sending him a shirt for that. But
Yeah.
that's pretty funny. And I saw he was on the way to the next game in his cast, and his cast has the German flag on it, which is pretty cool. That was
Yeah,
a
they're gonna have
cool
to
way to do
put a net up behind the goals like they do in footy when they have shots before the game,
it.
because
Yeah,
I've been in like behind the goals
yeah.
pre-match when
They're just
players are
pinging
warming up
shots.
and shooting, and
Yeah.
and when it's the A League, trust me, there's balls flying into the crowd, not into the back of the net. So I can tell you, it's pretty dangerous.
Yeah, it doesn't happen. It actually hasn't happened too much at this tournament. As we said, there's been 13 goals hit the back of the net from outside the box. But yeah, brutal for that one. Germany do it pretty easy. They progress to the next round, which we expected. They've done well to bounce back very young team with
Mm.
a little bit of experience as well. You got Cruz and a few
Yeah,
others.
you got like
But yeah,
Gundogan in there and Cruz.
they
Like
look
if
really good.
yeah, they're so good. I think they're definitely semi-final bound at the very least.
Yep. No, good call. Next one, Scotland versus Switzerland. Scotland get a point finally. The Scottish fans, they made it seem like it was a home game, 1-1 to Switzerland. This was actually a really fun game, very
Yeah.
attacking, just a lot of good passing in the midfield. Crowd again was unbelievable. The literally sounded like it was at Hampden Park, which is in Scotland.
Mm.
It sounded so loud. McTominay was great in I think he played like a what did he play, a cam sort of role
Yeah, he played
for
sort of like
Scotland
as a 10.
as a 10.
It's really weird. I don't
Yeah,
understand. Like you're playing John McGinn as striker and
yeah.
McTominay in the 10. I think if you just swap those two,
Swap those two. Yeah, that's what I
you
was
could
thinking.
get a
Yeah,
much better performance out of Johnny McGinn.
yeah,
But look, this game could have been 2-2. It could have been 3-2 either way. There were
yep.
definitely goals left on offer by both teams, but Angus Gunn had a good game for Scots in goal, didn't he?
He did. He did really well. Switzerland, yeah, had a lot of shots on target, and yeah, Gunn did really well. McTominay, as I said, was really good. He was still good in that number 10 position, so maybe that's why.
Yeah,
But I do agree that McGinn is better at building up play, so I'm surprised he's not starting in
yeah,
that 10
and
position.
McTominay is probably better at finishing chances. Like
Yeah. Yes.
we've seen him play as sort of like a false nine at
Yeah.
times for Manchester United, and he's played at striker for up front for Scotland
Yeah.
previously. So
That,
yeah, I'm not sure. And he was the top scorer for Scotland throughout the Euro qualifiers. So
yes.
a bit
That's a bit
surprising
of a
to
weird
see
one.
him as a 10 and McGinn up
Hmm.
top.
Yeah, I think they'll take a point. Shaqiri, the human meatball, he's back.
Yeah,
He's now scored in the last 6 major tournaments, and he's the only
wow.
European to do that, which blows my mind. He's actually had a bit of an underrated career, Xherdan Shaqiri. He's
Yes.
been really good. I think
Yep.
he's just been a bit of a meme early on in his career when he was called the meatball and he was just zooming past everyone. But he's had a really good career, especially for Switzerland. It's
Mm.
like Ochoa that used to play. Is it from the Mexican goalkeeper? They sort of unearth
Yep.
him for the big tournaments. They unearth Shaqiri. He melts down and just dominates in the big tournaments.
Look, this, and we look forward to the last match day of this group. It's going to be huge. Scotland, Hungary,
Yeah.
third and
Yes.
fourth. Winner of that goes through. You'd think.
Yeah.
So massive.
I think that's going to be a really close game. Hungary haven't looked that good. Scotland have been okay, so
I think
it'll be
yeah.
a really close
I
game.
think Germany and Switzerland have nailed on that first and second spot.
First two. Yep.
And then now it's just out for the third
For
place
third.
qualifier.
Ooh. Yeah, it's going to be really close. Next one, we're going to wrap up Slovenia versus Serbia. This one was 1-1. Slovenia, I just wrote down here, remain winless in their Euros history. I think now they've played 5 or 6 games. They played really well here until a really, really, really late goal by Luka Jovic. That's an
Yeah.
equaliser. The latest equaliser in Euros history, I saw here,
Oh
95th
wow.
minute. So
Okay.
they'll be filthy that they didn't get the all the points,
Yeah,
Slovenia.
that would have been a huge 3 points as well
Mm.
for Slovenia because look, now they do sit in third place, but
Yeah.
really this whole group is up for grabs.
Yeah.
You think because England aren't playing too well, and you never know if Slovenia can get a point that could see them through. Hopefully that's the case. But Serbia was so unlucky not to score
I know.
before the
Oh,
95th minute. Mitrovic hit the crossbar,
yeah.
which he should have put away, and there were just so many chances left on offer. And Benjamin Sesko had a couple of uncharacteristic shots over the bar, but
Yeah.
they'll take a point and head into the final match day against England, Slovenia.
Yeah. The only good thing about this draw, even Slovenia would be annoyed that they didn't win, is that this group is so close. So it just will
Mhm.
come down to all these teams were just desperate for a win in their last game. Serbia, though, yeah, they looked so good in the second half. So many chances hitting the crossbar, as you said. So they'll also be annoyed that they didn't win this probably 2 or 3-1. Slovenia played really well, but Serbia just lacking those finishes that we need them to progress. All
Mm.
right, this one is just hilarious. We love talking down England on a lot of our shows. Denmark versus England, 1-1. I was going to say this later, but beating Denmark isn't for everyone. We're Australian. Obviously, when we played them in the World Cup,
I
we
love
beat them
that.
1-0. Maybe England need a bit of Matthew Leckie. What do you reckon, Marcus?
Yeah, honestly, if Matthew Leckie was in that side, he'd go in and do a job. He score a solo goal from the halfway line.
Yeah. Yeah, no good by England. Oh, that's to be fair. They started really well. Harry Kane was on the score sheet. A lot of people said he shouldn't be in the starting lineup, and he says, "Cop that. I'm back on the score sheet. That's why I
Again,
am
though,
England striker."
he scored, but He wasn't
He looked
great.
slow after
He's
that. Yeah.
Gareth Southgate dragged him after 70
Yep.
minutes. Watkins looked good once he came on. He had a couple of chances, added something different running in behind.
Yep.
But my God, Gareth Southgate, what are you doing?
He didn't
It's
change him
it's
up at all.
it's so obvious what England need to do
Yep.
and what changes need to make. Again, substitutions were wrong last game. They're wrong this
Yep.
game again. I the game just screamed out for Cole Palmer, and
It
again
did.
did not get a single minute. He was
I
the
know.
top goal contributor for the entire Premier League last season with I think 33
Yes.
goals and assists. And look, they hit the front with a deflected cross. Probably fairly fortunate in the end because the Denmark
That's how they
fullback
got
should
their.
have cleared it.
That's how they got their other goal last game
So,
as well.
so
Actually.
they haven't been great in creating
No.
chances, I'd say, as much as other teams have, especially against like lower ranked nations. Obviously,
Yep.
England are ranked number 4 or 5 in the world at the moment. But you go in front, and they made the mistake of sitting back in the previous game, which almost saw them concede a goal and drop points. And they do the exact same thing again
Yep.
and allow I'm going to butcher this name, Hulmand for
Yep.
Denmark. So much space towards the end of the box. Like, of course, it was a fantastic strike, one of the best goals of the tournament
It
so
was
far, in my
amazing.
opinion.
Yeah. Yep.
Absolute bullet off the post.
Hmm.
But you can't give a midfielder that much space and sit that deep when you're England. They just struggle. They're really struggling to hold on to the ball.
Yeah. They need to be a bit more. I think they're lacking a little bit of confidence. When you got this team, you got
Yeah,
so many good players. You can press up a little bit more. You can be more attacking. You can cut in. Same as the substitutions. Gareth Southgate, this needs a little bit more aggressive. Take some chances on some players like Cole Palmer. I agree on that one because
mm,
Denmark they really lifted for this game. They had more possession, more shots, and more shots on target. Now
yeah.
England probably still played probably a little bit better,
They're probably a little bit better, but
the
they
fact
didn't
that
deserve to win. Yeah,
no way. It definitely deserved a draw. I forgot to say this one about Harry Kane as well. He became the third English player to score at 4 major tournaments behind Wayne Rooney and McAllion. So
yep.
that's a little stat for Harry Kane there. But you're right. Ollie Watkins, they could have brought him on possibly a little bit earlier, and he might have bagged a goal.
I don't. Yeah, it's hard. You have to be a brave man to drop Harry Kane in the sort of
True,
form that he
true.
was this season, and
Yep,
his stature as captain and England leader. But
yep,
Jude Bellingham and English fans were sort of brought back down to earth because Jude
yes.
Bellingham was probably the worst English player in the park,
That is so rare for him.
barring
Yeah,
some of the substitutes.
yep.
He lost 10 duels, zero I think zero chances created or one chances created, no goals, no assists, and
No good.
yeah, just wasn't the Jude Bellingham we've seen.
No.
Obviously, he's a great player, probably top 3 best players in the world. But yeah, just had a bit of a under par performance in this
Nah,
tournament.
for sure. This is like classic England that they have all the players in the world and then just doesn't always gel together. As this has happened a lot in our lifetime. All
Yep.
right, that's all the wraps so far for match day 2. We're going to get into the match day 2 weekend
Well,
previews.
we've got one more game, stats guy.
Have I got one more game? What have I missed?
Spain and Italy.
How the hell did I forget that, Marcus? Bloody hell! What is
Spain,
Italy?
Italy.
One of the
One of
biggest
the
games of the
two,
tournament. Oh
two heavyweights of the tournament.
no, you start
Wow,
off for this one then. You're the resident Italian, as we said last show.
look, it wasn't a great performance from Italy. Let's put it that way. Spain definitely deserved the win. Probably unlucky not to be 2-3
Yeah.
to the good. And the goal was unlucky from an Italy point of view. It came from an own goal, but in all fairness, yeah, Spain should have won that by at least 2 goals because it was 20 shots to 4 in the end.
Yeah.
So they smashed the previous champions in Italy. And look, over the first couple of match days so far that we've seen from the majority of teams, you'd have to say Spain have been the best team of the best team in the tournament so far. I think they've just been a little bit better than Germany.
Yep.
Although scoreline might not reflect that this game, but I think Spain so far they've showed that they can go pretty
Yeah,
deep.
I'll agree with that. The only thing I'm worried about, it's the same as past tournaments. Those 20 shots, 9 shots on target for 1 goal, and it was an own goal.
Yes.
I am very worried
Yeah.
about that because obviously last game, what did they win? 2-0. 2-0 last game.
3-0 against
3-0.
3-0.
3-0 last game. So that was really good. I just want to see that type of scoreline from Spain a little bit more before I can start getting on their sort of bandwagon because, yeah, they should be winning this at least 2 or 3-0 with the amount of shots they're having. But they got over the line. They embarrassed Italy. Italy only had 1 shot on target, so that's an awesome effort, and they do look really, really good, Spain. So they might be a bit of a dark horse for the whole thing.
Yeah, they've 100% topped the group now.
Yeah. Oh, okay. There you go.
So yeah, that's great for unless they miraculously lose to Albania and Italy
No,
beat Croatia by 4 goals, then
not happening.
or 3 goals, then yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, Nico Williams missed some big chances, but Spain looking good.
Yeah, now they look really good. All right, let's get into some more match day 2 previews. This is the weekend matches. Before we get into the first 2 match day 3 matches, that's before our next show. First one we're going to cover is Slovakia versus Ukraine. Very big match for both sides. Slovakia need a win. They obviously got a draw last game. Ukraine were really disappointing against Romania. How are you feeling about this one?
Yeah, look, yeah.
How's the reaction?
Because I'm a Mudryk fan, obviously. I'm a
You got the Chelsea
fan.
kid on, yeah.
Mudryk is the goat. I was just so disappointed in
I
Ukraine. Like my reaction there, literally just summed up Ukraine, because they were so disappointing against Romania. But Romania looked good, I guess. Slovakia obviously beat Belgium.
Yep, they were
Did they
amazing.
deserve to win that game is probably another question. But nevertheless, they did win the game. And you'd have to say they'd head into this game as favourites of what we've seen so far. So I will back Slovakia. Actually, no, I'll back Ukraine and Mudryk. Why not? I'll go a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. Okay. I'm going to go Slovakia. 1-0 again. I think they held up really strong defensively. I know they got lucky with some VAR decisions, but they still got a clean sheet against Belgium. So I think that's something to look ahead to. So yeah, I'm going to go Slovakia 1-0, and that's going to be a really close game though, and one to keep an eye on. Next one, Poland versus Austria. I think Lewandowski comes back for this one, so that's a huge in for Poland. It'd be interesting to see if he plays. Austria, they're both teams again. This could be a really close one.
Yeah, 100%. But unfortunately, I don't see these two teams of having much of a chance of finishing in the top 2. France and Netherlands already won both their opening games, and it'll be pretty tough to knock one of those two teams out of the tournament. But in terms of third place qualification, this is a huge game. So honestly, I don't know which way this game's gonna go. I'll probably lean towards another draw. It can't be a Marcus prediction without a draw.
That's true. There's already been
I'll go. Yeah, 100%. So I'll go Poland, Austria. Draw.
Okay, I'm going to go Austria win. I just had a look. They had more possession against France and only conceded the 1 goal, so they're pretty strong defensively. I don't think Poland have enough attacking threat, so I'm going to go Austria 2-0. I think they're the better side here, so I reckon they're going to get over the line. Next one, this is probably the biggest tournament. The biggest tournament. It is the biggest tournament, but it is the biggest match over the weekend of match day 2. Netherlands versus France. 2 teams that are trying to top the group. This is going to be a huge one.
Yeah, 100%. This is just going to be whoever wins this. If someone does win this, tops the group.
Yep.
And honestly, I'm picking France in this one. It's so hard to go against France. Yep. Look, Netherlands, I can see them going far. They got the ability to go far, but again, I just think they're struggling up front for some goals. Obviously, they've got Wout Weghorst, who can chip in with a goal. Like Depay off the bench and those sorts of players. But again, France just have quality everywhere. And how good was N'Golo Kante in that first game?
He's back.
To not play for France for 2 years, plays club football in Saudi Arabia, and just then start ahead of the likes of Tchouaméni and Camavinga, and then get man of the match.
Freak.
Was unreal. He's at... How old is he now? 30...
let's have a look.
30-something, 31, 33, I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, 33.
33. So he's unreal footballer.
Yeah,
unreal.
No, he's an absolute freak. I'm going to go draw in this one. I think both teams are on a similar trajectory so far. I think Netherlands can hold really strong in defense. The other one is if Mbappe plays or not. I think if Mbappe doesn't play, that's a huge out, obviously, for France. Defenders just get a magnet towards Mbappe. So if he doesn't play, I think Netherlands could win this. But I'm going to go a draw because I think both teams are a bit closer than a lot of people think. And even though France are just doing dominating world football over the last few years. All right, next one we're going to cover Georgia versus Czechia. Georgia were a bit unlucky to lose, I think was the first game.
They lost 3-1 to Turkey because Turkey scored some absolute bangers.
Turkey were just scoring goals from almost halfway. It felt like Gula with that screamer.
Yeah, and then Czechia were probably unlucky to lose against Portugal because Portugal scored really late on to win that game. So, look, both teams looked good. I was surprised by Georgia, in all honesty. They had a lot of tricky players that were taking people on the wings, which is great to see. But it'll be interesting to see because you assume Czechia will control possession, unlike their game against Portugal. so it'll be different to what we saw in the first match day. But I fancy Georgia to bag a goal here,
Yep.
but I think Czechia probably have the quality to pip them in the end.
I agree. I think it's going to be 2-1. I'm going to go to Czechia. Just think they've got
Yeah.
more quality and attack, and that these guys that have finished. But Georgia did put up a strong fight last game, so I wouldn't be surprised if they get on the score sheet. All right, next one. Ronaldo is back. Turkey versus Portugal. This is a huge game for Portugal. If they get another win here, obviously got over the line 2-1 last game. Turkey looked amazing. Obviously, some bangers outside the box. Their crowd was awesome. This will be a fun game, I think, because Turkey just play really attacking. Portugal obviously have so many star players. They only just got over the line in the 90-something minute, Portugal.
Yeah, it was really late.
Really late by Conceição. So they'll be desperate to just be a bit more dominant in this one, I think. So this could be a big scoreline, do you think?
Well, I think I'm not sure about a big scoreline, but I do think Portugal will win this. Possibly like a 2-0, sort of just workmanlike cruise to a handy 3 points. But you never know. Like, they were poor in the 2016 Euros, and they finished third place. They progressed as the third place finisher in that tournament, ended up winning the Euros. So, look, you don't have to be amazing in the group stage to go on and win the tournament, but it's still good to see signs of winning. But in saying that, I do think Portugal should win this.
I'm going to go Portugal as well. I think I'll go 3-1. I think Turkey just will score another bang. Gula from outside the box again. Why not? For his second ever goal. Portugal as well. I think Ronaldo, I know he's just the man to talk about. He created so many chances last game. I wouldn't be surprised if he, probably not a goal, but an assist, I think, in this one, just because he set up so much of the play. Offside by an arm and a few other things last game a couple of times. So I think he's going to set up their play and Portugal cruise to a win. Last game we're going to talk about in match week 2 is Belgium versus Romania. Belgium with an absolute upset. They should have beaten Slovakia, but they lost 1-0. Romania were the surprise of the tournament against Ukraine, just dominating 3-0. Their crowd as well was amazing. Surely Belgium bounce back here, but they're such a roller coaster team. I have no idea what Belgium is going to turn up.
Yeah, 100%. You hit the nail on the head there. You don't know what Belgium side's going to rock up, but look, they could have easily scored 3 goals in their first match day. So they're probably unlucky in that sort of sense. But Lukaku missed some big chances, as typical big one does. Obviously, flashbacks to Inter Milan, Manchester City Champions League final. But look, Belgium should win this. Romania looked awesome. They looked really good. But in saying that was against Ukraine, and Belgium is a different kind of opponent. When you got likes of Trossard, who doesn't need many chances to find the back of the net. Lukaku, a big, strong figure. Like Lukaku versus Dragusin would be
a fun matchup.
An interesting sort of battle. But obviously, they've got talent everywhere, Belgium. It's just defensively, can they hold up and not concede against Romania?
I agree. I think it will be... I'm going to go 2-0 Belgium. Romania... they'll be pretty strong defensively, so it's not going to be a big blowout, but Belgium surely bounce back here with the team that they have on paper. All right, let's go to match day 3 to wrap this up. The first 2 games before we get into our show on Monday. Switzerland versus Germany. This is another huge match. At the moment, 1 and 2 in the group, so they're going really well. Germany obviously progressed, and Switzerland are pretty much locked in, would you say, for top 2, I think?
Yeah, I think so. I think if they avoid a big defeat, then they're definitely locked in for top 2. And honestly, I think that's probably what's going to be on the cards. I'm going to go Germany 1-0 because the Swiss defense is the best part of the Swiss team. So, and Germany are Germany. So I think they'll get over the line.
Germany with their awesome kits, I think, and the home crowd advantage. I'm going to go 2-1. Why not? Shaqiri, the meatball's going to score another one. He just loves scoring goals, and every time he gets a chance, he takes it. But Musiala and Wirtz, I think, are going to be on the score sheet. 2-1 for Germany for me there. Last one we're going to wrap up is Scotland versus Hungary. Huge game. This could decide who finishes third and who progresses. I am leaning towards Scotland because I'm a biased Scottish background fan.
I am too.
And I think they have some finishers like McTominay, like McGinn. They've settled because a lot of these guys hadn't played in big tournaments. Sorry, their whole team have never played in a major tournament before. They settled last game to get that draw. I think they're building into something big and they can get a win to finish off the group stage here.
I'm only picking Scotland because Hungary have been that poor. Yeah. I think Hungary have been really bad so far. So look, I actually rate the Scottish side, except for defence.
Yeah,
Like
their defence
they're
is
aging. I think
shambles. Yeah,
like Andy Robertson, plagued with
yep,
injury, and then at times couldn't find himself back in the team for
yep.
Liverpool, and then Kieran Tierney, who's played more minutes than Zinchenko at Arsenal, which is kind of funny. But he hasn't hit the heights as he was expected to hit when he was at Celtic,
Yep.
and moved to Arsenal. But look, I'll go Scotland here. I really rate Shea Adams as a footballer.
Okay. Good
I think
finisher.
he's fairly
Yep.
underrated. Yeah, and I think this is the type of game where he can find the back of the net.
Yep. Yeah, I'm going to go McGinn to score. I'm going to go 1-0. This just a lot of both teams aren't the best finishers so far in this tournament, so I think it's just going to be a 1-0. Could be a 1-0, but I'm going to lean towards 1-0 for the Scottish, as they'll be partying if they make it through. There might be chaos in Germany if they get a win there. That'll be absolutely awesome. All right, that's all the games we've covered over the weekend for our previews. Make sure to check us out on our live stream, actually, Tuesday morning, 5 a.m. Marcus and I will be up and about, even though it's 5 a.m. in Melbourne time.
On the beers, on the
brekkie rolls.
Yeah,
maybe just the brekkie roll. We'll see. Croatia versus Italy and Spain versus Albania actually on at the same time. So 2 huge matches. Some of the biggest teams, biggest fan bases in the whole world going head to head there. So we're very excited for that.
Yep.
Croatia and Italy are desperate for a win. Spain and Albania have been awesome in this tournament so far. So check out the live stream. That'll be on TikTok. I'm trying to organize YouTube and a few other things there as well. Instagram as well on Football Today AU. So get around that. All right, I think that's it for the show. Thank you very much, Marcus.
Thanks. That's
Hopefully the Scottish can get a win. Definitely following them. Thank you very much, Homie, for jumping in and recording this. Thanks to me, and that's Football Today out.